And that takes us to MJF and Samoa Joe for the AEW Championship. And they had this big Long Island-centric video for MJF with all of these people. I mean, they just made this guy like, let's just nominate this guy as like the next mayor-elect of Plainsview. So he comes out, and plenty of Creative Pro performers and students in this video as well. And MJF comes out to a hero's response, and he points to the entrance, and here to surprise us, Adam Cole coming out on crutches. So MJF avoids a muscle buster early on, and he's selling this shoulder, and that's the whole focus of this match for Samoa Joe. Multiple times, MJF calls for this kangaroo kick, and there was no way Joe was taking this kangaroo kick. He stopped him at every chance, slingshot him over the top, and MJF, with his one shoulder, felt he had the recuperative ability of Dustin Rhodes, went to skin the cat here, and Joe just nailed him upside down, booted him to the floor. And then he hits MJF with a muscle buster on the edge of the apron, with Cole looking horrified at this. MJF fights back with one arm. He thumbs Joe in the eye, tries to lift him, but he collapses, and then manages a heat seeker, tries for another. Joe lifts him, and it's turned into a sunset flip roll-up. He goes for the salt of the earth, but can't fully apply it. So Joe reverses to apply the Fujiwara armbar. MJF gets out, and they run into Bryce Remsburg in the corner. And, dude, it was like a collective from this crowd. Like, they knew we're not getting the Continental Classic final booking-wise here. But Bryce goes down.
Everybody knew the devil shit was going to happen in this match, right?
So MJF is smiling at this because he then hits a low blow and lifts up Joe, marches to the center of the ring, and he hits this dude with the F5. And there he is down on the center. Cole is rallying MJF. He gets on top. Bryce recovers, and Joe kicks out. And as MJF gets the ring, Cole is stumbling in his jacket looking for this dynamite ring, hands it off to MJF, but he's caught in the coquina clutch. MJF does the Bret Hart kick off the turnbuckle, lands on top, but Joe transitions back to the coquina, and MJF is going out. One arm goes down, second arm goes down, and then they pull the arm up for the third time, and the arm goes down. This is like the babyface lost to the three arms going down. I mean, a monumental moment here in wrestling history. And Joe wins the title in 17 minutes and 53 seconds in about as clean a way as you could. And I don't want to say that I have telegraphed this all year, but we all know that MJF's mom was there in attendance in his hometown, and he lost. It's been a thread all year long way. This has been a curse. And Samoa Joe is your new world champion. Before we get to the post-match, your thoughts on this match. I do not think this reached the Grand Slam level, which I thought was a hell of a match they had back at Arthur Ashe Stadium.
Maybe you could be right. I feel like they're different enough that I don't know if it's that direct of a comparison. For one thing, I mean, for all we know, MJF is really injured, and they played that shoulder up, I thought, very well throughout the entire match. I thought the heat was insane throughout this entire thing. I also felt it was oddly like sweet to see MJF perched up in the corner as the match was about to begin, and like cracking a genuine smile. You know, it almost looked like he was breaking character and just kind of absorbing the moment for once. And obviously,
well, look at this. It's like it's not just like here your champion coming to your hometown. It's like, dude, it's a sold out venue. Like you should be really proud of that fact. I mean, I would have like, here's a guy who is now can claim, you know, I headlined Wembley with 80,000 paid, and I'm sure this means almost as much the fact that you're in Long Island and you didn't do like a bad number, like coming in. Like it'd be disappointing if he came in here in his hometown and it was like, 6,000-7,000, but they moved a lot of tickets recently.
I also wonder if really considerable negative criticism coming off of several of his segments over the past several months, as he addressed, in the Players Tribune article, might have weighed in on him.
Really great piece. If you haven't read it.
Yeah, might have weighed on him too, where he wasn't exactly sure what the response was going to be. And when he was met with that hometown welcome, I mean, it was actually very touching. And I thought they proceeded to have a really good storytelling match. The finish, though, I love, dude. Okay, like I feel like we've seen. So to me, like this MJF run has all been about, like, at least for the early portion, about sort of identifying tropes in professional wrestling and just either fully diving in or maybe completely breaking them and playing with audience expectations. And I felt it was very fitting for the entire run to end based off of one of the most cliched spots in professional wrestling, and having our expectations be completely subverted, and having a championship reign end by that sort of like, three arm lift. I thought it was a great end to the match.
So Adam Cole gets into the ring. The whole crowd is chanting bullshit. And the Devil's masked men surround the ring and they go to attack Max. They pull aside Adam Cole. They're holding him down. And Cole is saying, hit me. And Max is saying, don't you hit him. You hit me. And the lights go out for a long time. And then they come on. And Adam Cole is seated in the chair, flanked by the masked men, who reveal themselves as Roderick Strong, Wardlow, Matt Taven, and Mike Bennett, who are the masked men, the unmasked men of the Devil. Adam Cole and Max is heartbroken as he sees Adam Cole, and they jump him, they attack him. Wardlow powerbombs Max, and the announcers are in shock as the show goes off the air with the Devil revealed.
So we got the reveal. Yeah, we were wondering if the storyline was going to come to an end, at least the mystery portion, and they did. So I guess the question is
not like they made a big push for it either. Like if you could have argued like they could have made a bigger deal out of this. Like I don't think you had people buying this show expecting the payoff. Like it's nice when you reward your audience as well, but I think this was more than the time to get the mystery. Like it had reached, I think for some, they were never on board with it. And at least now we're going to the next chapter where hopefully we can get away from some of the more cartoonish aspects of it to a more proper feud. And as well, I mean, there's going to be lots of like storyline here with MJF, and you're probably going to see quite the blurring of the lines here of what is going on, what is not, his injuries. And I would say at the very least, he probably should disappear for some time until we see his response. Like I would not expect him to be back on Wednesday, for instance. Like he should disappear and lead to people's speculation on what is going on with him and go from there.
Right. Yeah. I think it's the perfect out, like he's not necessarily, I mean, for one thing, he is out possibly due to injury, but he's also out due to heartbreak, which I think is an even more,
that could be 6 to 8 months potentially. Yeah. That's it, man. That's like an ACL.
So I'm curious to know if maybe this was always the plan to reveal at the end of World's End in Long Island, or were they going to delay this until Adam Cole could actually return? And what is the status? What is the health status of an Adam Cole? Are we going to see him week to week? Was this just, hey, a big appearance on a big show, and then Adam Cole continues to maybe go away for a while? Still a lot of questions, maybe. What do you feel about the selection of the masked men and what is essentially now a stable with the Kingdom and Wardlow?
I thought that Adam Cole was the safest pick, and one that I didn't like. There's enough that they have built up that we had stated, like when, like had they done Adam Cole and MJF like way back when this started, and the turn comes 3 or 4 weeks in, it's like, okay, here's another wrestling turn. But instead, it's like you have seen these two, like you've seen this like bond that when the turn comes, it's going to mean something because the audience, I think, is invested in this. So I thought he was the safe pick to go with. I don't think any of the WWE releases would have been met positively, like none of them. Like the options were very low. You could have gone for some crazy name to just get some shock value, but I thought that it was a very, very small list of people that would not be met negatively, and Cole was probably your safest. That has a storyline reason that you can tie it in together, like right down to like his plan was to replace Max at the last pay-per-view and cost him his title. And it was thwarted by Max coming to save his friend. There's a lot that they can explain that can totally make sense with all of this. And you can put enough obstacles in Max's way before he can get to Adam Cole once he is healthy. Like it's not the end of the world that he can't, even though the pay-per-view is named as such. That he can't wrestle next month or at Revolution.
I think it's a blessing, honestly. Like I could see this at this point maybe being the peak towards All In, and I think given the potential time off of Max and the series of matches you might be able to have with the rest of this faction, I think it stands a decent chance of being able to, delay the match itself until August. Yeah, all that said, we've been talking, I think, for weeks about who this person is, and by the time it's revealed, will we be disappointed? And I can't say I'm disappointed. Like, Adam Cole is probably like such an obvious pick that maybe for that reason I was dismissing it. Like, there's no way it could just be, as simple as that. They went with a simple option, and from a storytelling standpoint, I'm satisfied. Like, you got logic, okay, attached to it. Everything, to my knowledge, makes sense if you run it back and just replay everything without the idea that Adam Cole has been the devil. I think it makes sense. So I'm okay with it.
What if Adam Cole explains, yeah, you were such a great friend, Max. Remember those sneakers you gave me right before Grand Slam that I wore for the first time coming out to the ring, and I jumped off that apron? All your fault.
I mean, it could be as simple as, hey, you beat me at Wembley. You robbed me of the biggest moment of my career. You took my spot.
Yeah. I think like there is a lot. And I think for the people that, like, I think there were the strongest percentage of people, I think, were in the middle of this one, where this was dragging on. They weren't quite enamored with it. They had their issues with it, but it was a salvageable angle that hopefully now they can bring them in. I think it was a smaller that were absolutely hating it or absolutely loving it. Like, a lot of it was more so.
A lot of it were moments that we absolutely loved or absolutely hated.
Yeah. And I think the makeup of the masked men, it was super goofy. And I think we can eliminate that, save for probably some merchandising of devil related merch.